a little light is on the camera that lets us know that it's showtime. How you feeling? You feel different now?
I feel good.
Okay, cool.
I feel in the spotlight. Let's do it.
There's you and I don't know, one or two other people that have come on. Like PJ Broom was on. We talk about PJ like every episode, I think. But you don't change when you know the camera's on.
Right.
A lot of people, we sit here and talk for 20 minutes, whatever, before the show starts. And then when the light comes on the camera, they're like, oh, this is different now.
Yeah.
But you're just Sean all the time, right?
I try to be within reason, within reason.
Within reason, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I like it, man. You've always been that way, though. And I don't know, maybe you don't have a choice but to just be Sean all the time.
Right.
But that's a good thing. It's a good thing. So who is Sean Mullins?
Who is Sean Mullins?
Yeah, tough question, right?
I am Sean Mullins. I was born on December the 21st of 2001. I was born with a visual impairment. It's called optic nerve hypoplasia. This means that my optic nerve is too small, and therefore that is why I'm blind. However, I have this ability called light perception, where I can see shadows, and when it's darker, that means there's a shadow. But when it's lighter in the room, I can tell that when it's light in. Being blind has never stopped me from wanting to pursue an education and have a job and whatnot. I am a college graduate from Georgia Northwestern Technical College with my associate's degree in business management. And I'm currently a student at Georgia Highlands College getting my other associate's degree in business administration for a total of 4 years. I am a graduate from Model High School as a high honor graduate in the class of 2021.
Yes, sir. All the accolades, right?
Yes.
That's why I had you on, Sean, because I knew that you would give good and thorough answers when I ask you questions.
I try.
Yeah, no, you're doing great, man. So you're working on your second college degree at this point.
Yes.
What are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in business administration.
What was your first degree?
At GNTC, it was business management, so they're a little bit different. And then I had my concentration in marketing.
Okay. So what are some challenges that you faced? We'll start in college and work backwards. What are some challenges that you face in college?
Well, the most notable challenge is when I was at GNTC, and when I first started going there, I was first going for computer information systems, and this has always been a challenge with screen reader software and stuff like that. But these programs were not really that accessible with a screen reader. And for those of you who don't know, a screen reader is pretty much as a piece of software that simply reads things that's displayed on a computer screen. How the rest of you can see it, but blind people have to hear it. And I use a program. It's for free. You can download it. It's called NVDA. It's for Windows. It stands for Non-Visual Desktop Access. And I feel like that's been a major challenge. Not only that, but also just overall my mental health. In college, like I really feel like I've learned a lot of adult lessons that would really carry on with me as an older adult.
Yeah, we were talking about some of that before we started rolling, the ways that you've grown up, and it's been 5 years since I've seen you.
Yeah, maybe a little less, but yes.
Yeah, they're about, I guess.
It's been about 4.
Has it been 4?
Yes, sir.
We decided it was 20, right? August of 20, so probably almost 4 exactly.
Yes, sir.
Because I left your senior year, I left the school that you went to.
I swear, I think the last time I remember talking to you was on August 14th of 2020.
That could very well be right. Why does that date stand out?
It was the day after the first day of school, and I'd missed the first day of school because I was under the weather, and I'd showed back up the next day, and you and Miss Sarah were both concerned, like, oh gosh, does he have COVID? Because it was during that time where people were very concerned about getting sick, and rightfully so.
Gosh, I remember that now that you mention it, because we started school late that year.
Yeah, we did.
We were supposed to start like the 1st or the 2nd, and they pushed us back a couple of weeks.
Right.
And I remember you missing the first day. You're sharp, Sean.
Thank you.
Sharper than me. I had to get you to remind me. But yeah, today is the 21st.
Yes, it is.
So we're 7 days over 4 years since we've seen each other.
Yes, we are.
Man, that's awesome. It's awesome, and you're awesome. And I'm glad you didn't have COVID.
Thank you. I'm glad I didn't either. I got food poisoning from Steak and Shake.
Oh no. I'm not sure how much longer that place is going to be in business.
I know, right?
I don't know if you've been there in a while or not.
Oh, I have. I was there last week.
Were you?
Yeah, everything is pretty much, for the most part, self-serve.
Yeah, I quit going when they rolled out the give your own order thing.
I know it.
It's the world we live in, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Just might as well adapt to it, just like I've had to adapt to other things in my life. It's just nothing new, you know?
There you go. Maybe once you get all your business management and administration degrees, you can go run your own restaurant and show them how it's done.
Exactly.
So what do you do with your free time these days?
Okay, well, ever since February 27th of 2022, I've been going to Planet Fitness in West Rome. I like to work on all parts of my body. I try and go there about 3 to 4 days a week with my grandfather, or just however I can get there, whether that be Uber or my grandfather or whatever. And I like to do this aisle called the 30-minute workout express, and it goes in a big circle. And on one side of the aisle, on the left side of the aisle, are machines that work different parts of the body, and on the right-hand side of the aisle, there are several machines where you step on and you step off of them multiple times for heart rate. And I like to do 30 reps per machine, and I'm up to I'm total how much weight I can lift. I lift up to about 150 pounds as of right now.
That's awesome, man. You look different. When I first met you, you were a kid, and
right.
You still maybe had some baby fat, and you weren't like, you almost look athletic now, like you've been working hard at the gym.
Yes, sir. I've been trying. I hurt my back a few times doing it.
You got to go easy, man.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
You're not as young as you used to be.
I know.
But that's cool, man. It's cool that you're in there and you're taking care of yourself, and I could probably do a better job of that myself. But into the working out, that's got to make things easier for you as far as mobility and stuff like that.
Right, absolutely. And I'm thankful that one of my grandmothers was actually one of the ones that suggested it, because we were all thinking of a hobby that I could do when I wasn't doing schoolwork and when I wasn't working at a job or whatever, because back then I had a job.
Yeah.
And I was looking for something to do, to be even busier than I was, to try and keep, stay out of trouble and whatnot.
That's it.
Not that I was ever in trouble to begin with, but I think you get my point.
Yeah, you were never any real trouble.
In real trouble, no.
You might have been a little sneaky at times, but you were never in any real trouble.
Oh yeah. I think a lot of youngsters can be.
Yeah, they can. But again, you've grown up in a lot of ways, and you were, I don't know if being blind forced you to grow up quicker than other kids. Do you think that was the case?
Well, yes and no. I think that mainly why I feel like I had to grow up so fast is because of my home life, my environment, because I had a good home life and I always had a great support system that supported me, but a lot of people just, and there was a lot of people that had issues with themselves that kind of maybe took precedence over my issues, but also why I had to grow up so fast is because of teachers that were very influential. Because I was so used to doing everything, I was so used to having everything done for me, to now to the point where I don't want anybody to do anything for me, and so on and so forth. But I feel like that's the reason why I had to grow up, is teachers that were very influential in my life, that showed me the independent way to life, the fact that you can control your own life. You can do what you can. You can do what you can put your mind to. Don't let anyone tell you can't. The only person who says that you can't is you.
Oh man, that's heavy stuff, Sean.
And that's what made me feel like I had to grow up, is my life experiences and teachers that made me understand that nobody's going to do anything for you.
I remember we were talking about you getting in trouble a minute ago, and now we're talking about you being independent. I remember the only time I ever had to get on to you.
Yeah.
You remember this?
Yes, I do. Do you want me to tell a story?
Do it.
I think if I remember right, I think it was when I had left Miss Harwell in the cold or something as I was going to class.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was got onto for it, but I know I was. I can't remember exactly why that was wrong, what I did, but I know it was wrong.
The rest of the story is she was responsible for you, Right.
Right.
And I want to say it was like the first couple of weeks of your freshman year, this brand new school.
Yes, sir, it
and
was.
she had to take you to a class in a different building that was upstairs.
Yes.
And you ditched her.
I did.
Because you wanted to be independent. And you were like, I don't need Miss Harwell.
Right.
Well, like, she's freaking out. She's about to call the police. She's like, I don't know where Sean is. I've lost Sean. And I was like, we got him. He's up here.
But I should have been got on too. I mean, I should have been. Well, I was wrong for that.
Yeah, it just you. What happened was you walked across this parking lot by yourself, and then up the stairs, and all this stuff that and all we can think of is the 8 million ways that could have gone wrong. And you're like, bro, I'm independent.
1,000 ways to die.
Right? Yeah, in a high school parking lot, absolutely. But that was it. And I was wondering if you'd remember that. After you remember the other story, I was sure that you would. But
absolutely,
that was the biggest trouble we ever got in, right?
Yeah. One of. I mean, and thankfully it never got worse. I learned my lessons, and my mistakes were definitely corrected,
Yeah. Well, and it came to a point, right, where you could do these things by yourself.
Absolutely, and it's now to a point where, now I can even do more. Like I said, Uber and taxi, and, I've gone to places by myself, 110%,
Yeah. Getting after it, man. I love it. It's awesome. It's always cool to see, like, to talk to students. We were talking about Jonathan Duvall a minute ago and how much he's grown up over the last few years. And I can think of a million kids. Tango is one of them.
Right.
That went to school where I worked, and to see them grow up and the things they accomplish and the obstacles and hurdles they overcome. And it's always really cool. But for somebody like yourself, like you just naturally had more obstacles than other people did.
Absolutely.
And you've been able to overcome those too.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I always will, I mean, and like I said, I have faith in, the man upstairs, and I believe that he'll help me, work everything out where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Make all the puzzle pieces fit.
Well, you were talking about his plan off air, before we got started. And I thought it was really cool that you were talking about one day at a time, and doing what you're supposed to do, but it's not up to us to change his plan.
That's right.
I thought that was a really cool perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you were going into some of the teachers and things that you had that helped you. What else can you think of that, in a way, that a teacher sort of enabled you to be independent?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. We were talking about your teachers, and you were saying that you had a lot of good teachers along the way that would push you and enable you to be independent and not do things for you.
Right.
Who are some of those people? I mean, you can talk about it if you want to. You don't have to.
I had a teacher. Her name was Sarah Bernier. She actually came from the School for the Blind in, I believe it was Texas. Well, she came to the scene in 2017 when I was starting high school as a freshman, and she was one of the teachers that had helped me be very independent. Because like I said, I came from a time where I really didn't do much, and I didn't think I wasn't that confident, because I was always told that. No, I mean, I was told I couldn't do certain things, but I was also told things like, oh, some people never had confidence in me, and it was just like Miss Sarah made me understand that. And another teacher named Maggie Love, whose name is now Maggie Harris because she got married a few years ago.
Yeah.
She helped me a lot in terms of being more sociable. Having more empathy for other people other than myself, that other people have struggles as well, not just me. And she's helped me learn, how to talk to people, like how I'm speaking right now, and the way that I can, I feel like I can try to express my opinions and be the most respectful person I can be. Like my respect, I feel like I would attribute that a lot to Ms. Love. A lot.
Yeah.
And my family, of course, but in terms of teachers, Ms. Love, absolutely.
Yeah, those guys are fantastic, man. I remember first meeting them and meetings we had and like pre-planning before school even started, and they were both really young. It might have been Miss Love's first ever teaching job, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
But Sarah Bernier was also really young, and they came into this meeting, and especially Sarah sat down at this table with us, and she was just real matter of fact about what she had to do and how we could help her and how we had to treat you guys, her students, specifically the vision impaired kids. Is that the correct way to say that?
Yes,
okay?
Sir, it is.
But she was like, this is how it's got to be.
Right.
And I was like, who is this kid I had been doing this for 10, 12 years at that point.
Exactly.
And who is she to come in and tell me? Well, it turned out she knew exactly what she was talking about, and she was a fantastic teacher.
Absolutely.
But I learned maybe as much from her as you did, I think, Sean, and she was fantastic. Maggie Love was too.
Right.
Those guys, they were great, even as young as they were. They just they brought in a new perspective, I think, than the rest of us old folk had, because we felt like we've been doing it forever.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's always interesting to hear other perspectives and different from your own, and learn from them, no matter how old or young they are.
Yeah.
I try to learn from everyone, no matter who they are or what happened or what situations happened or whatever. I always try to learn from everybody.
Yeah. We'll move on to something else. So, God, can we talk about your employment thing?
Right.
Let's not say the name of the place.
Good idea. Good idea.
Do we even go into this at all?
What do you want to ask?
Have you had another job besides the Center for Independent Living?
Yes.
Where'd you work?
Well, I've worked several other jobs in the restaurant industry.
Okay.
Within the span of like over a year.
Yeah.
Mainly like washing dishes and doing prep work just to get by, just to get my foot in the workforce,
I got you.
I actually had a job at Buffalo Wild Wings when I was making like $15 an hour, and I was just to wash dishes, just to stand back there and just wash trays and stuff. Literally.
Bro, sign me up.
I know, right? Unfortunately, that turned very, very quickly. But for a while, I was working at night, and like I was getting off at like 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning because I would have to close. But I was working overtime, and I was bringing home like $500 a week, after taxes.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the paycheck I was bringing, But I've worked at other places too, doing washing dishes and trying to like doing other restaurant work and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, you've had jobs. You're an employable dude.
Absolutely, I've had jobs since I was a senior in high school. I give credit to people from. I don't really. I'm going to use more of their services now, but I haven't, here lately, Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency. I give credit to certain people that were a certain person who was my counselor back in 2021 and 2022 that helped me grow in terms of job skills and employability skills, and her name was Amy Layton. Unfortunately, she retired in February of 2023. When Voc Rehab was having a little bit of adjustment going, but I would credit her to my development in terms of being the best employee that I know that I can be, and everyone else knows that I can be and should know that I can be.
Yeah. No, and I've never doubted, man, that you were going to do great things, whether it was being a great dishwasher or right. running your own business one day. I think you're capable of just about anything you put your mind to.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So what do you plan to do once you wrap up all these degrees?
Once I wrap up all these degrees, I hope my temperature doesn't get too high. No. What I plan to do is I plan to graduate from Georgia Highlands with my business administration degree, and I haven't fully decided what I would like to do yet, but I am thinking about owning my own business. That's a thought that has come to mind, because not only do I have a management degree from GNTC, but I also have a couple management certificates.
Yeah.
And I could be a manager if I wanted to be, and if I could prove myself to be.
Right.
However, I do understand that I don't need to just start out as a manager. I need to start from the bottom of the ladder and then work my way up to the top. Because if you start from the top of the ladder and you're going to fall, and you're going to hurt yourself, and that's the way I try and look at it.
Yeah.
As if don't act like you're too big for yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Humble yourself.
Right. Well, it's now you have the perspective of the dishwasher. Right?
Absolutely.
So one day when you're the manager of the restaurant, you know what it was like to be the dishwasher. And,
yeah.
And that goes a long way in how you treat that guy.
Absolutely. Because I've worked with some people at other restaurants I wasn't a dishwasher at 1 or 2 restaurants that I worked at, but there were others that had disabilities, and from what I've heard, some of those guys in the kitchen would really be mean to those guys. They would really mistreat them.
That's a shame, man.
Yeah, it is, but I pray for those people, and they find salvation, and their hearts change. That's the only thing I would wish on someone, is a change of heart.
That's it, right? That's what
Absolutely.
we can hope for. Oh man, no, it's good that you've got that perspective, and it stinks that there are people in the world who would mistreat somebody with a disability, like of all people, right? Like,
Absolutely.
Which it says more about them than it does about the person they're being mean to.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I guess that's why you have the perspective that you do, because you understand that. That's a cool place to come from, that you know that it ain't you when somebody's poking at you, it's them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, do you have any idea what kind of business you would like to run?
I'm really not sure. I mean,
Yeah.
the something that's crossed my mind is maybe, running some sort of karaoke business of some sort.
Okay.
Because that is another hobby of mine. I do like to listen to music, and I like to sing karaoke. I like to sing. I feel like I have a good voice, but it needs improvement. I like to sing country.
Country. Hey, here's one for you, Sean.
Okay.
I remember when I think you were in 5th grade, and it was right at the end of the school year, and you came to the high school, and y'all performed, like different classes from the elementary school, sang songs and
Yes,
did
we
skits
did.
and all kinds. You remember where I'm going with this?
Yes.
And
me and
sang
my
a
class
song.
did "Best Day of My Life" by the American authors.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
we did.
I remember that. And that was, they said, hey, that's Sean. You're going to love it when he gets to high school. He's going to be great. And I was like, okay. And I kind of like put you in the back of my head. And then, a couple years later, you got up there and I was like, oh, that's the kid that sang the song. I remember him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Didn't know you were blind at the time when you got up there and sang the song.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I've just gotten so good at. I guess I've just gotten so good at being independent. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but a lot of people. I run into people like, places I like to go in public and stuff, and a lot of people don't realize that I'm blind.
Well, you came in this building, and to get into the studio here, you had to come through a tiny little hallway downstairs, and then you had to go up 20 stairs. And the first 5-6 steps didn't have a handrail. And
Exactly.
You just
Just
beasted
kept
it.
trucking.
Yeah, just did it like you had done it yesterday.
Absolutely.
But you've gotten good at it, man. You don't need somebody to follow you around anymore, right?
And no, not really. I mean, not at all. I mean, unless it's in a new place or if it's in a real crowded place. But
Yeah.
other than that, no, sir.
Yeah, no, you're doing awesome, man. It's good to see that you've gotten to this point in life, and you're setting goals, and like maybe you don't know what kind of business you want to run yet, but you want to run this business, and you're doing all the stuff that it takes to get to that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So regardless of what kind of business or whatever you're going to get into, where do you see yourself in 10 years and 20 years?
Where I see myself in 10 years or 20 years is me on my own completely with hopefully I can start a family, not just a business, but a family, maybe, have a wife and some kids.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Where you were going to be in 10 or 20
Yes.
years. You were talking about your family and all the stuff you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I continue?
Absolutely.
All right, where I see myself in 10 or 20 years. Well, I see myself in 10 or 20 years completely out on my own. This is where I want to be, completely out on my own. Hopefully with a wife, maybe some kids,
You know what we were talking about, Sean?
What?
The karaoke business.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was it. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'd forgotten too.
But yeah, the karaoke business, I thought about doing something for karaoke because give more people a place to go for if they want to do karaoke, because there are only 2 places three that do it. Well, yeah, 3 that do it in Rome. One of them, they do it, at different days of the week. But I want to try and find a place give people a place where they can bring their kids in as well. And so it's not just an adult-only place, that everybody can do karaoke as well. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of give instead of it being a bar scene, be a family scene.
Sean, we're sitting right now in what you know as a podcasting studio.
Right.
But this room is, you're in the middle of it right now. So you walked halfway across it to get in your chair.
Uh-huh.
Behind me, I think we talked earlier, there's a stage. Right above your head, there are production lights. To your right, there's a professional sound and lighting engineer. We can make your karaoke thing happen.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's give it a shot. We'll talk about it off air. We'll talk business and numbers and all those things.
Definitely.
But we can make it happen, man. We rent this joint out when we're not using it as a podcasting studio.
Okay.
We put on our own events here. We got a comedy show coming up next Saturday night.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay, awesome.
So maybe we'll have Sean Mullins karaoke in here.
Maybe. Maybe so.
Call it something wild. Do something crazy with it. It'll be
Absolutely.
fun.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can sing. My favorite song to sing in terms of country is "In Color" by Jamie Johnson. Not only for the song, but it's just lyrics hit me right in the soul.
Right in the like with a boat paddle in the face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the other song is a '90s rock song called "Wonderwall" by Oasis. I love that song.
Man. I love Oasis.
I love that song.
And that's a fantastic song. They get a lot of hate now. They're like, oh, Wonderwall, like whatever. Like everybody that hates on them now loved them when they were around and still making music. But
yeah, exactly.
I was always a big fan of Oasis. I love their stuff. What was their song? Be Here Now, I think was that one?
I think so. Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was my favorite one of theirs.
Oh, I also like the song. I also like to sing the song. I like to sing a lot of different songs, but my newest song I'm singing is called "In My Hands" by Fuel. It's a 90s rock song.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I love that song.
So my cousin had a band. He lives just outside of Nashville, and they played around Nashville a lot. And people used to tell him that he sounded like the lead singer of Fuel.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, looked a lot like him, too. So he got on the weights and got real big. The Fuel guy's kind of skinny.
Right.
But my cousin Kevin got jacked because he got tired of being confused with the Fuel guy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's a good song, too, though. I like that one. So you're singing a lot these days?
Yes.
You've always been a musical dude.
Definitely. I took piano lessons when I was in elementary and middle school. Mm-hmm. I actually took piano from February of 2011 to February of 2017. June of 2017. I took piano lessons. I've attended several piano festivals at Shorter College. They have them once a year, and every single year I've won a Superior Gold Cup.
Oh.
And the only reason I quit taking piano lessons was because of high school.
Yeah.
My mom and I, because I was a child at the time, decisions were made by adults.
Right.
That it was best for me to work on high school since it was a completely new chapter of life, and I needed to focus all my efforts and energy to that. And that's the reason why I decided to halt my piano career.
So when was the last time you played? Was it before you got to high school?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I haven't played in a long time.
You think you still could?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like riding a bicycle, right?
Yeah.
I say that. I don't know what it'd be like for me to try to ride a bicycle right now.
Right.
Yeah, you've always been a musical dude as far as, at least the time that I've known you. Like I said, the first time I ever saw you, you were singing a song. But so you're singing, where are you singing these days?
Well, right now I'm singing at the North Mesa Pub on Kingston Avenue. Mm-hmm. Karaoke is on every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. with one of my very best friends and karaoke host Cassandra Miller. She's been my friend ever since I graduated high school. She's actually a U.S. Army veteran. No, she's a Navy veteran.
Oh wow!
Excuse me, she's a U.S. Navy. Right. Yeah, she's a Navy veteran.
Cool,
and,
good for her.
She served during the Gulf War, and she's a veteran. She has 3 kids. One of them lives somewhere else, but the other 2, especially her daughter, I consider her, to be another best, like a sister to me in a sense. And they're like the closest. Both of them, like her and her daughter, are both like the closest thing that I would have to like a girlfriend at this point, even though we're obviously not.
Yeah.
But it's like the closest thing that I have to that, because I look at Cassie as like a mother, and like I said, her daughter Barbara May is like a sister. So like I would always defend my mom, and if I had a sister, I would always defend my sister as a big brother.
Yeah.
So it's like, even though Barbara May's older than me, I would still defend her. It doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter.
Right.
Status doesn't matter. I always believe in, always doing what's right and standing up for everyone's rights, not just yours.
Man, that's good stuff, Sean. That's what I was thinking when I asked you earlier. I was like, who is Sean Mullins? Well, that's who Sean Mullins is. He's a good dude.
I try.
Yeah. Well, you're about sticking up for other people's rights. You're not going to compromise your own morals to do it.
Right.
That's a good thing. You don't mind standing for what you believe in. You'll stand up for somebody else. That's what makes good people, man.
Absolutely.
And I've got to believe that comes from the fact that you are a believer and you try to live by, the greatest commandment was to love God with all your heart. And the second one was like it, love your neighbor as yourself. And it feels like that's what you're trying to do with your life. In work, outside of work, your hobbies, all the stuff you got going on.
Right.
Even your karaoke idea is looking out for other people, man. Like people that want to sing and do those kind of things, but don't want to take their kids to a bar to do it.
Well, because they can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't bring your 4-year-old into a bar, but yeah, the fact that you would like to set that up somewhere else so that somebody can have that experience and not have to miss out on it just because they have kids.
Absolutely, and I mean, not only that, but it's like, I mean, it's something they can bring their whole entire family into, and wouldn't stay open too late because everybody has to get home and go to work and have other things they have to do, except maybe on like Friday and Saturdays have extended hours, but
yeah.
I wouldn't run karaoke every day. I would probably just run it on the weekends.
Right.
So like on Friday and Saturday or something like that.
Yeah.
And the only reason how I got that idea was when I was first doing karaoke at this place in Armurchie. It was near Armurchie High School. Unfortunately, the place closed down 2 years ago. It was called Amvets.
Yeah. So you were going to Amvets to do karaoke. I remember that place.
At the very first, this was literally a few months after I was graduating high school.
Yeah.
This was a few months after I graduated.
That's cool, man. That's cool. It's important that you're doing things like working out and that you're going to school and that you're looking for a job. My watch keeps bouncing off his table.
Oh, it's okay.
And you're doing all those things, but it's important that you still chase things that you love, and people give up on their dreams. And a question somebody asked me once was, how much did they pay you to give up on your dream? Right. So you get into this career and you got this job and it pays your bills and that's good. You need that. But then did you let go of what you really wanted to do in life to do something that was good enough? And you may never be a rich and famous singer, but you're still doing the thing that you love, while you're pursuing adulthood and professionalism and all those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And since there's a country music singer by the name of Sean Mullins, I might sing a Sean Mullins song for karaoke tomorrow night called Lullaby.
Yeah, do it, man.
This is by yours truly.
They should put your name on the sign out front. Oh, we got Sean Mullins in here. They'll be lined up down the block trying to get in. Yeah, no, I remember it, man. When were you born?
I was born in 2001.
2001,
but okay. I'm an old head at heart.
I guess that song would have come out about the time you were born, maybe a year or two before.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're one of those old souls, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I like old rock and old country. My favorite is old country. I didn't like country in high school. That was something I acquired after high school. Mm-hmm. But I still I don't know if you remember when I was in I still listen to hard rock.
Yeah.
Heavy metal. I will always listen to that stuff.
Yeah.
I have several music shirts. I even have a Slipknot poster in my room somewhere.
You ever sing any heavy metal?
Have I? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't anymore because I don't want to hurt my throat or anybody else's eardrums. But when I first started doing it, I sang Duality by Slipknot.
Yeah.
And I love Duality. It's just a fun song. It's just a fun song.
It is. Slipknot's they're a unique band with multiple drummers and all that.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I like their older music. Corey Taylor's got a long neck. And I mean a very long neck.
I don't know. Tango, have you ever seen Corey Taylor?
Yeah.
Have you? I don't know if I've ever seen him.
Yeah, he's got from what I heard, he has an extremely long neck.
I got to see Corey Taylor now.
Yeah.
Now he's the same guy that does Stone Sour, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Okay. And doesn't he have another thing too?
As far as I know, it's just those two.
Just those two. I mean,
Slipknot and Stone Sour.
Those two are
personally,
huge.
I like Slipknot. Well, I take that back. They have different sounds to them. I like both sounds. So I can't. I mean, they're different. So I can't say I like one more than the other because they're both different. But I like heavier music. But that's just me.
Tango just showed me a picture of Corey Taylor's neck. It's pretty long.
It's freaking long, isn't it?
It's long. How do you know his neck's long, Sean?
I was told his neck was long by several people.
Okay. Several reliable people, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I didn't know. I had no idea about Corey Taylor's neck. God bless him.
I would tell you a story that I heard about Corey Taylor at a concert, but it's not really appropriate, so I won't.
Some kids might listen
Exactly,
to this.
exactly.
So are you still into wrestling?
Not much anymore, but I
Yeah.
will still. I mean, if it's on, I'll watch it. I mean,
gotcha.
I was watching some clips from Survivor Series 2023 at WWE.
Yeah.
And I wish I was there because, Randy Orton returned. So did CM Punk. I love CM Punk. I like his mic drops. I really do. I like CM Punk.
Yeah.
And-
I liked him as a wrestler. I wish he had stayed there. He tried to fight in MMA for a little while and it didn't go well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't like Logan Paul. I'm glad he's in WWE so he can lose. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I'm with you. So what do you think about John Cena hanging it up? That was your guy, right?
Yeah, I love John Cena.
Yeah.
I actually tried to do a project on him years ago, but I mean, honestly, if you have to retire, you have to retire, and I mean, regardless of people can say it's fake, people can say it's not, people can say what they want. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like Hulk Hogan says, you can't fake gravity. And regardless of how fake it is, like if you climb on top of a ladder and jump on somebody, regardless of if it's scripted or if you're told to do it or not,
Yeah.
you can't fake gravity.
That's what he told me, man.
Exactly. And not only that, but it's like, if his health, said that he had to retire or whatever, then he needs to retire for the good of his health and whatnot. But I love John Cena. I really do. I love John Cena. He's not only is he a good wrestler, but I also think he's an inspiration to people as well. Like a lot of people look up to some of these wrestlers. Like I also look up to have looked up to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Especially after like he, had cancer and he beat cancer and
That was a big deal, right?
absolutely he fought through it and he gave cancer a Superman punch. he gave cancer the Superman punch.
Yeah.
And I love Roman Reigns.
Yeah. No, that's cool stuff. I remember we used to talk about John Cena all the time, and
Oh yeah.
you were like listening to his song one time, I think. It got stuck in my head. It stays stuck in my head.
Thugonomics.
Yeah, I've got it on his emote on Fortnite. He'll do the.
So Sean, I do have a question for you over here.
Yes.
Do you have plans on going to WWE's Bad Blood in Atlanta this year in October?
I didn't know anything about that.
Yes, they're doing Bad Blood after
Oh, wow.
20 years from the original date. They're bringing it back to Atlanta.
Oh my gosh.
So now I feel like you gotta go.
You have to.
How much are tickets? Do you know how much tickets
I
are?
have
A
no
lot, bro.
idea. yet.
Oh man, Bad Blood. I always liked Bad Blood, and my favorite WWE were. I love Survivor Series. That's I always get hyped for that. It always comes around the week of Thanksgiving every year. I love Survivor Series, and I like Money in the Bank too.
I always thought the Survivor Series was the coolest format of any of their big events.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Always liked that. Way back, I remember watching it in like the 80s. It was huge.
Yeah, definitely.
4 guys on a team, last man standing wins. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if anybody out there would like to make a way for Sean to go to Bad Blood in October, hit up the Burnham Project social media. We'll make it happen.
Well, all three go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can hit me up on Facebook. My name is Sean Mullins, SeanMullins on Facebook. You can hit me up. You feel free to send me a friend request. I will if I know you, I will definitely accept your friend request. And but if not, just feel free to follow me. Anybody can follow me. I'd support everyone on there. I mean, I have my own beliefs on certain things, but I do believe in a free speech, open area for everyone, and it's not just opinions, but also, photos and videos of, stuff that my family and I are doing, like, me being at lunch and me singing some karaoke videos and stuff like that. You feel free to follow me on Facebook. Anybody's welcome up there. Anybody.
I love your karaoke videos. I watch them every time I see them. Every time I scroll by one of them, I stop and listen to whatever you're singing about at the time. And it's really cool, man, to watch you see how you've grown up. And I'm excited to see, It's been 4 years. I'm excited to see what the next 4 years is going to look like for you.
Absolutely, me as well.
Yeah.
Me
So
as well.
we're going to wrap up here in just a minute. But if you could say something to somebody out there who needs some encouragement, some inspiration, drawing from your own experience, what would you say to that person?
I would say never give up because, life is going to get hard. Life is hard. I feel like there are obstacles and, curveballs being thrown at everyone for a reason, and to basically see, if we're going to stand or if we're going to fall. And I would tell anybody who's going through a difficult time, whether that be blindness or whether that be any mental health issue or anything, whether you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with, there's always hope. And not only is there always hope, there's always someone to talk to. And not everyone in this world is too occupied. Not everyone is too occupied with themselves. There are people that really do care, that you are going through a tough time. And if you are going through a tough time, please say something. Please don't let it bottle up in you, because that's been one of my biggest problems, and it still is. Please do not let it bottle up in you. And there are people that are there to listen, and people do care. So stay strong, keep your head up, know that everything is going to be okay, and you have to try, and that's the bottom line. You just have to try. You can't give up, and you can't surrender. So that's what I would say to anyone who's going through a tough time.
That's awesome, Sean. Thank you so much. Thank you for those good words. Thank you for being here, man. We'll do it again sometime.
Thank you very much, Coach Burnham. I was glad to be here, and thank you very much for having me on your podcast.
Yes,
Take care.
sir. God bless you guys. We love you. See you next time.
All righty. Bye-bye. Thank you.